right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is M Note in the Incheon. It's a tier 10 Pan-Asian light heavy cruiser, I should say. She's based off of, I think it's like the Baltimore hull, but she's got like the Tulsa guns, right? They're the
Specifically, it's
4x2?
the Anchorage hull.
The Anchorage hull. Thank you. I knew it was one of the other hulls. The big thing about her is that she's got a smoke generator. She's also got torpedo reload booster, and I believe these are deep water torpedoes because it's Pan-Asian. Now this ship was originally sold in like one of those kind of weird, I think it was like Wishing Wharf events, right?
It was, yeah.
Is that how you got it?
Good God, no.
Okay, how did you get it?
So in, I believe, the last patch, it became available for regular purchase for doubloons. And so I used my doubloon coupon on that.
Got it. Okay. So what attracted you to this boat?
Well, it's basically a Pan-Asian Des Moines, in many regards. And considering how much I love Des Moines, I thought, why not?
Okay. And that's fair. And she's got the enhanced accuracy at close range, which is helpful for shooting at destroyers. But she's definitely a boat that you can sit and smoke and farm with and stuff. I believe I covered a replay from SFNL a while back about this too. Okay, so it's a new boat, so it makes sense that you don't have a 21-point captain on it. You've got main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, aiming systems, propulsion, concealment, and reload. I mean, that, to me, is perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything I would want to change up in this. Yeah. The gun layout is more Nevsky-like. Yeah, it's 4x2, so you have the two turrets in the front and the two turrets in the back. So it does feel a little bit Nevsky-like.
One thing to note is that this ship has amazing firing angles. It's like 25 degrees forward and aft.
Okay. Let's see. I can find that out someplace on there. I can't remember where. Turret angles here. Yeah. Yeah. So what's nice about it is you can be angling towards your target and keeping your guns on target. So that's kind of nice. Right. Okay. And then for captain skills, you put Sajin Bing on. Now, for his talents, right, you get, for potential damage, 1.5 million. You get quicker reload of your consumables. Okay. And then you hit 6 torpedoes. This is the big one for Sajin Bing, is you hit 6 torpedoes, and then your torpedo reload booster goes quicker. You get a whole nother charge of it, and your torpedoes are just magically faster. And then combat, you're probably not going to get combat scout in this boat, but if you do, you do get 20% main battery reload time.
I have only ever, in the 13 games I've played in this ship so far with him as my captain, I've only ever procced any of his talents once, and it happens to be in this game.
Fair enough, fair enough. He does get buffed consumable enhancement skill as well, which for you doesn't really matter much, right? It only helps you with your smoke. So I can see why you skipped it.
And the smoke already has a pretty long action time anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's American smoke. So let's see. For your skills, you started with gun feeder, priority target, survivability expert, and then concealment expert. Okay. I probably would not have done the first and third skills here. Why did you go gun feeder to start?
Well, as in previous replays, I've said that I'm kind of a gun feeder fanatic for pretty much any ship. In kind of the same way that you are really a big enjoyer of priority target and RPF. That's kind of how I feel about gun feeder.
Okay. That's fair. Personal opinion, I agree with what Cthulhu said. I'd probably go last stand to start. Another skill at one point that's really handy, I mean, there's a lot that are good for this boat, right? Consumable specialist to get your consumables back faster, and then grease the gears is handy too. So like, there's a lot of good choices for your first point. It's just a question of, you know, because you typically only want to start with one of those. You gotta think of which one's most important to you. So if that's gonna be gunfeeder for you, fine. Personally, I would go last stand, but not much else to talk about with that. The other big one I want to mention is superintendent. So you took survivability expert instead of superintendent, and I'm curious why. Because superintendent, you got an extra smoke and you get an extra torpedo reload booster and an extra heal.
I think it was we had a discussion at some point about, superintendent versus survivability expert when the ship has a heal, and I kind of waffled back and forth on some ships I do superintendent first, on some ships I took SE first.
Okay.
On this one, it happened to be SE that I chose first.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely go superintendent first here, but hey, whatever, you did it, so it's fine. If it's a boat that only, like, my general rule is if it's got a heal, I want superintendent for the extra heal. If it doesn't have a heal, then I go super or survivability.
I do agree. Like superintendent, it is a skill I'm going to be picking up in this build, no questions asked. And honestly, I do agree it probably should have been my first 3-point skill, because the one thing that I have noticed in playing the ship, because I built this captain before I'd actually played it, is it's not just the heal. I could also sometimes use that extra smoke.
The extra smoke is going to be a lifesaver. And to be quite honest, the torpedo reload booster can also really save your bacon too. So, like, I think
I have not really figured out how to use the torpedo reload booster. I think it's because I've never really played ships that have it, so I'm not I haven't really figured out the optimal times to use it.
Got it.
I think I only use it once in this battle.
Okay. And then finally going into your signals, the other thing I want to mention too, Sazen Bing, what tech tree ship is he on?
Currently he's not on any tech tree ship, because my highest tech tree in the Pan Asian line is tier 6, and that's on the cruisers, and I'm actually thinking that I'm going to be putting him on the destroyer line.
Okay.
Because the main thing for that is, combat scout. Much more likely to get that with Yu Yang than you are with Jinan.
Yeah, Sazen Bing is fantastic on both Yu Yang and Jinan. So it really comes down to which you feel like you're going to be, better suited putting him on. Just keep in mind, if you're going to put him on Jinan, then Gunfeeder is not going to be helpful for you.
Yeah, so, and that's the other thing is I know I want him on this ship, so that's another reason to put him on the destroyer line, so that I could have it built for the destroyers and also built for this ship.
Yeah, I mean, you could also put him.
I think that the wrongs might work better on Jinan anyway.
Maybe. They do get the buff survivability expert. Okay, I just wanted to mention that.
One thing I do want to say before we move on to signals, is where I'm planning on going, at least the next skill that I'm going, because I think that this ship, it lacks hydro. It has a smoke screen. This ship needs, I think it needs RPF.
Okay.
You need to know which direction the torpedoes might be coming from, so that you can make sure that you're prepared to get away from them if you need to.
I would personally, this might be one of the few boats I wouldn't run RPF on, mainly because you have nothing to hunt destroyers with, no tools, right? Your smoke screen doesn't help you for hunting destroyers. Yes, it tells you where the torpedoes may be coming from. That's a fair statement. But as Sergeant Sully is suggesting, if you're divisioning with somebody, then radiolocation helps, because maybe the two of you have it and you can triangulate a certain point. But I think, especially in like the standard randoms, personal opinion here, I wouldn't go for it. But you're welcome to play it a bunch more and see where you feel. Because what you need to do is you need to really make a decision. Do you want to go for damage? Do you want to go for survivability? Do you want to go for but damage with your guns, survivability, or damage with your torps? Because the nice thing about a cruiser like this is there's a lot of options here, right?
Yeah.
You're going to want a superintendent. You already said that's going to be a lock. If you also take adrenaline rush, then that leaves you with maybe top grade gunner or radiolocation. The point I'm getting at is now you only have that 4-point skill left, right? And then now you're down to 1, and then I would probably go consumable specialist so you can cycle through your consumables, quicker, right? And this is a fine build. This is a fine build. I just don't see you getting a lot of benefit out of radiolocation other than just kind of knowing where they are.
I see. Because there was a game that I played yesterday where radiolocation would, like, I knew there was a Shima somewhere over there, but I didn't know exactly where until he tried to torpedo me. But that sort of thing, you know, I was like, right in that situation, I was like, man, I wish I had RPF right now.
You have to keep in mind that this boat is not a front-line cruiser. It's definitely a second-line cruiser. You have to be behind other things that are going to be targeted and torpedoed and stuff. So
that might be, I might be have been playing it wrong then, because I've definitely been playing it more towards the front.
Okay.
So
and we'll comment on that when we get to your gameplay, of course. But
okay.
Let's look at your flags then. So you got ramming, HP, fire, flood chances, fire reduction, heal boosting, speed, and then consumable refresh. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So nice flag setup there.
General quarters.
Let's get into your game. Ooh, down periscope. That's a fun movie. All right, just putting up your thingy there. Cool. So you spawned on the flank. That's good for you and bad for you. Good for you because it helps to isolate who can see you and shoot at you. Bad for you because on this particular map, there's really not a lot of cover. So it's a good thing you've got smoke.
Yeah, it's a good thing that I have a ship that I can make my own cover where need be.
Exactly.
And this was, so I played this game on the 5th, and it's one of the first games I think I played in the ship, so I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
As much as I like this ship because it's very similar to Des Moines, but in many aspects, it's also very different from Des Moines. Primarily its consumables.
Do you have Anchorage?
I do have Anchorage, yes.
Okay. See, I would say it's more like Anchorage than Des Moines, you know?
How is the ship even remotely like a Des Moines?
Well, I mean, those are Des Moines guns. They have Des Moines reload, the pin angles, the alpha.
Okay, but it plays nothing like a Des Moines.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, Anchorage with Tulsa turrets. That may be how I would try to look at it. What is your concealment?
11.2. And in smoke, I think it's like 8. It's 8 something.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here. There you go. All right, now we play there it is, 8.5. Okay.
And one thing also to note, I'm not certain if you explicitly mentioned it, but like Tulsa, it does get the DD dispersion on its guns.
Yep, I mentioned that. Yep, so it's got better aiming, whatever tightness up close.
Smoke generator started.
I don't like that you shot and then smoked from sitting still. If you planned on shooting, smoke first. Your spare time's going into Subnautica? Cool.
This game is going to be a relatively slow start.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. With boats like this, they typically are going to be a slower start because if it's a fast start, you're dead. You know, like...
Yes, I learned that the hard way yesterday where I didn't smoke up soon enough and I just got 1-2 dead from a Hanover and Yamato sandwich.
Right. Now, you were talking about the torpedo reload booster, and I see you fired off your torps at the Montoya field just now, which is fine, by the way. It's just outside of your torpedo range, so if he decides to go into ACAP, there's a chance, right? So I look at torpedo reload booster as a thing that you're using when you're kiting away from your enemy. So in a situation where they're chasing at you, and maybe they're 15 kilometer out from you, you turn, launch your torps, turn the other way, launch your torps, then you hit reload booster, and do it again. And obviously using smoke as you need to. I mean, that's very much Janan style gameplay too. Never battles where you come out of spawn at 3/4 throttle. That's not a bad idea too.
Yeah, I did start this battle at a low throttle because I knew that I didn't want to push in because this area is so open.
Yeah, now your big threat is going to be that Musashi. I would be slowing down here. And the reason to slow down is exactly what I was just talking about. You want to get your torpedoes out on A. You can fire torpedoes now. Wait 10 seconds, fire your other side, and then torpedo reload booster it.
Okay.
It's a possibility, but you're not considering that because you're focusing on guns and stuff like that, which is fine. I'm just saying, like, they didn't chase you. Interesting. So it wouldn't have mattered if you had done that. Had they chased you, it would have. You understand that difference?
Right.
Is Incheon
You have
capable?
to stop with this AP on things that are not on fire.
Many thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to remember, AP is affected by range, and just because they're 203s and they wreck things up close, they don't wreck things at distance.
Yeah, so like
Okay,
shooting at the
that's fair.
cohorn was okay, but I would just keep HE on. I agree with putting there. Ooh, look, the
Okay.
destroyer. Split. Yeah. Is Janan capable of making the smoke donut? I don't think so.
Donut.
He might need to have the smoke slot 6 module up or what, or slot 3 module going for that. So little delayed reaction there on switching the split, and also I think if you had slowed down, you might have gotten a better, couple better shots on it. But hey, whatever, he's dead.
I think that was the first time I got an assisted ribbon.
Yeah, I don't. How do you guys feel about those assist ribbons? Like personally, I hate them. I hate them because they
you don't
pop
like
up.
the participation trophy?
And I helped. I mean, if it counts as a kill, like if it was specifically it counts as a kill for like the kill missions, hey, I'm down. But if it literally is just like you're you know, it's almost even worse now because if somebody steals your kill, you see the ship go down, you see a ribbon, you're like, I got the you know?
Well, I mean, what does the ribbon give you? Do you get anything for getting the ribbon?
Nothing, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like all these people complaining that they wanted this in there, you literally are getting nothing but a participation trophy.
You like getting recognized for the effort? I do too, but like that's where, like I would, personal opinion, I would say, so for like kill missions, if I get an assist ribbon, I count that as half of a kill. Like for, you know, for,
Yep.
Everybody hates those kill missions, and Wargaming loves to do those.
But to be fair, they haven't like given like a new set of them since they introduced the ribbon, so that might still be something that they do in the future.
Don't give them any freaking ideas, because that is going to be the worst mission on the planet of, oh, I did half damage, I better stop shooting that guy so I get the stupid assist ribbon for the stupid mission.
Right? Oh my god.
Right? Anybody who played during the what was it, the ARP stuff where you had to kill Russian cruisers?
Oh yeah.
Nobody played Russian cruisers? That's what it's going to turn into. It's going to take you a week to get one mission for one ribbon. Like, I remember it because it literally turned to the CCs making videos begging people, if you finish the mission, play a Russian cruiser.
Yep. Daniel, hey, welcome in. Guys, you are being warmly greeted by my late cats, Stevie and crew. You forgot how toxic this game was. Welcome back, Sublimation.
The good old days of the dark days of RTS CV.
I want to comment something else.
For the love of God, stop with the AP.
I want to comment something else too while this was unfolding. I feel like you completely ignored the smoke screen that the carrier put out for you, and to me, why not take the free smoke?
I mean, I didn't ignore it. I even said in chat, comms for the team play.
Sure, but then you went to where you wanted to go and left the smoke screen instead of, like, how I would have done it is I would have used it to get me up to the island at A, so that I could smoke and just shoot my bow guns at Musashi, Cohorn, Rochester, whatever. You went into this other spot and stopped, which is an okay area. It's just, I don't know, I feel like, you know, if you've got the ability to go someplace else, then do that. Anyway, welcome aboard, everybody. I'm Lord Zeth, a North American community contributor for World of Warships. We are doing replay analysis right now, looking at M-Note. You can hear him in voice. His game in the Incheon. And we are doing a couple of things. We always do a couple of things when we get raided. The first is we eat out a code. So, as you heard, you have to make sure you're following the Twitch channel. Following is free, of course, and just type something in chat. This is for a COTS signals container. I have a couple of them left over from last weekend I need to get rid of. So, who doesn't like more signals in this game, right?
Well, we also have the code giveaway going that I just yeeted out.
We also have the Staxel code giveaway. That's to celebrate raising $10,000 for Stack Up. We are also doing a charity drive still for, this time, T1D. So if you are looking for a good cause, feel free to check out that link there. Yeah, we're giving away game keys today. A whole bunch of them. What's up, Awesome? How you doing?
Did anybody teach you the basic rules of cruiser gameplay? I'm now.
I mean, cruisers are kind of my most played
Right,
class.
but what I'm saying is, like, and this goes back way, way back, and it's still true today. Battleships just sling AP. Cruisers HE until you're 5 kilometers within a broadside target, then you AP the crap out of it. And DDs just sling HE. Like your main arm, like your main shell type should be HE out of this thing until you're close and personal.
I agree.
Right, and then you AP it to death.
I felt that that was like true for most cruisers, but not of ones that have like the Des Moines characteristics. Because I mean that's basically how I've always played the ships, and I've always had very good success doing it that way.
Right, but you'll have more success.
You'll have even better success.
If you like AP is the right choice at this distance for what you're shooting. I can't disagree.
That was perfect right there. That was good.
The Rooster or Rochester, whatever the heck that other cruiser was that was near max range, AP was not the right choice. It's HE.
Okay.
AP is affected by distance. HE is affected by, can I hit my target?
Right.
So, in other words, you lose penetration capabilities from farther out. You know, there's a couple of times where AP at range is useful, but generally speaking, HE is going to be the better choice at max range. I do agree with putting there. The big thing is you want to be.
There are exceptions, people, so I don't want to hear petro.
You want to be shooting, you know, you want to be trying to cause fires and stuff like that, working people's DCPs down, that sort of deal at long range. Up close range, that's when you just go, you know, and just punch them out with as much penetration damage as possible.
See, so that's kind of how I play ships like the French cruisers, is basically I rarely ever use AP in those unless I'm basically facing a broadside cruiser like point blank.
That's why you still want to shoot HE at range. You got the DPM to do it. Get it burning.
Yep.
Like, fires help your destroyers out so much more in the fact of they don't have to get as close to keep the thing spotted.
Yep. Now, I mean, if something is a one-shot, then fine, AP. But, you know, starting out full health, blah, blah, oof, that's going to hurt. Yep.
I mean, the target's angled. AP is the wrong choice.
Yep. Now, you do get better 10 angles. So you could say, okay, well, it's a little bit more angled than normal, so I'm going to use AP. But the thing is that it's still not enough. It's still not good enough to overcome those out-of-bounds. And the easiest way to do that is towards the end of the game. You look at how many ricochets, and, you know, mostly ricochets, right? Because HE shells can shatter too. But ricochets are all AP. So at the end of the battle, what you can do, note, is take a look at your ricochets and then look at your AP shell hits and what percentage of your AP shells are ricocheting. That's an important number to kind of, you know, figure out.
Mod squad's not an exception, Sergeant Solly. Granted, you can still set it on things, but it's got to be perfectly broadside and you're coming down on it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take much at distance to turn a little bit and nullify all of that.
I'd use my defensive anti-air fire here. It's towards the end of the game. You want to get as many of his aircraft out as possible, and also take advantage of the XP.
I was going to say it's more about the experience, so we can get out of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Nice kill.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
And I wait until I see the torps to use my DCP there, just in case.
Yep.
Smoke
I like the
generator
smoke
started.
here, but you're not really stopping quickly enough. There you go. And now the thing is, if you shoot, you're going to be spotted anyway. So you have to wait for your moment for AP. Fortunately, the torpedoes on the Trump may force him to turn up. He turned the wrong way.
I mean, sadly, he turned the correct way. Because
Yeah.
you have torpedoes also.
Right.
Smoke screen set.
And here you can see the
I'm
biggest
thinking-
reason why I feel the Incheon is a good second-line cruiser, but not front-line. You can't spot anything.
I need intelligence data.
Yeah,
But, like, why are we still reversing? Just W at them.
You might as well.
Insert your dominance.
Ooh,
yeah.
torpedo
I'm
hit.
Not a torpedo hit. I'm not a very assertive person.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Right there.
Yeah, and you've got HE. This is funny.
No, he's that's
alone.
why that's why he loves Gunfeeder so much, because it helps to negate that.
And now you just go cap because you'll never run into the carrier.
Yeah.
Right.
GG's.
Well, head towards the cap because I'm not even going to make it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna fast
You
forward because
might
I'm pretty
get
sure this is over.
lucky because that's where the carrier will be running to
Mm-hmm. Nope.
if he has a brain.
If he only had a brain.
I mean, clearly he did.
Came in second place. Not bad, considering new to the ship. 10-point captain, right?
So I am interested to see how much HE versus AP did I fire?
First of all, 16 ricochets. So you fired 40 HE shells and 105 AP shells. Or no, those are hits. Sorry. You fired 164 HE, 232 AP.
So of the hits, about 1 in 6 was a ricochet.
But how many were non-pens and all the other good stuff, though, too?
Some of
Fair
those are
question.
probably going to be shatters or whatever. Right. And unfortunately, the ricochet is the only one that you can really easy look at.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that helps you to kind of inform yourself post-battle is you look at that and, okay, if I'm getting a lot of ricochets, you know, and I'd say if you're hitting, you know, 10% or more, maybe, you know, that's definitely quite a bit. And then just say, okay, so maybe I'm firing AP too much.
Well, I mean,
You
the
know?
other thing to
Fair.
look at is just the damage difference. Like only 40. Well, I guess 164 shots, but 40 hits for 25,
Mm-hmm.
right? You only got like 3 fires. Like, I would honestly do a game, like, I know this is probably going to upset you. I would do a game where it's HE only.
Mm-hmm.
I might do 2 or 3 games where it's only HE only just to get a bigger sample and then start comparing it to your other games because you're going to have to add the fire damage to your HE damage.
Right. Now, something else to consider is your shell damage. So AP shells, 105 hits for 83,000 damage. That's 790 damage per hit.
Probably a lot of
790.
overpins.
And your damage, your max damage is 5,000. Now a penetration is 1/3, right?
Right. And overpin is 1/10.
Overpen is 1/10, right? And then obviously ricochets, whatever shatters are 0. Now let's take a look at HE. So you did 25,227 divided by 40. That's 630 damage per hit with your HE shells. And that damage maxes out at 2,800. So even though you're doing less raw damage, you're doing much more greater percentage damage with the HE shells than you are doing with the AP.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I'm mentioning this because I know you're a very analytical person. And of course, people listening maybe are very analytical too. And so this is a nice discussion about, hey, how do I know if I'm shooting HE too much or AP too much? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely do agree. Like, specifically that Rochester that I was shooting at, yeah, I definitely should have been using HE at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you need to work on just your default shell type is going to be HE,
But I also go back to, one of the comments when we were reviewing my Des Moines games last month was, that oftentimes I was spending too much time thinking about what shell type to use when I should just be shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Congrats, Panzerkex, by the way. I think a lot of it just comes down to, if you're thinking too much with your shell type, yeah, and that's what's leading you to shoot AP more, frankly, than necessary. Like I'm typically like my default is going to be HE. There are times where people are watching me stream and they're like, Zath, why aren't you shooting AP? It's like, well, because I just don't want to put the thought into, do I need to switch to AP or not? Like, I can still do the job with HE just fine. You can't say the same thing about AP, right? If you're shooting AP at somebody and turning your brain off and they just angle, well, now you're not doing crap against them.
well, I suppose that it's a good thing there's not a ammo type in game where you just do a lot of damage at any angle and you don't have to think about, oh, wait.
Y'all know what we're talking about, right?
I missed what it said.
Oh, goodness. All right. Anything, any titles for this game? I mean, I'm thinking just default shell type makes sense for you, but I don't know if there's any.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't have any particular thoughts of the game title. For
I
this
mean,
game.
I do appreciate the screw you carrier. I hate you so much, I'm not going to use your smoke. That was nice. I approve of that.
All right.
No, so I did use the smoke for a little bit before I came out of it, and
You
as I
go
was
right through it. You're like, no, this is not enough nicotine.
Thanks, CV. I'm going right through. I'm just saying, so as a carrier player, I would have seen what you did and been like, well, I'm never giving you smoke again.
Wow, really interesting because
you didn't use the smoke.
That would honestly be my attitude.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to go along it, and then I kind of popped out because I was like, okay, now I would want to be here, so I'll use my own smoke, but I didn't have to use it there.
Listen, the carrier player's not here, so you could just be like, yeah, you're right. Screw the carriers. I don't support them.
Plot twist: Zath was the carrier.
That would be
funny. And Zath
funny.
would have typed out in chat, "Thanks for not using my smoke. Good luck for me ever helping you again."
Right, because I totally would do that in all chat.
Right, like you'd even be in random battle at this point in your career.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
Oh my god, how do I get this stupid?
But yeah, with this Rochester, the reason I had HE is because I thought he was going to reappear bow on.
Right.
And then when he didn't, I was like, okay, AP.
Right. And so I think that was a nice little part here where you could demonstrate like how and why Gunfeeder works so well for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zath has that as a macro key response.
Oh, so that's what that was. The Yamato, when it came up in game, It just there was a blank space after, but I see now that there are Chinese characters in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, no.
Interesting.
Thank you very
All right,
much.
thank you.